Hey, I'm Olivia. I was blind until 2016, and this is Ask Me Anything Part 1. Why is it Part 1? Because this series is about my being able to see for now 7 years, and it is going to have different observations than my older videos may have had. Also, I wasn't as good at making YouTube videos back then. I feel like we needed to do an update. Before we get started, be sure to subscribe, hit that notification bell, and if you have any questions for the next video, put them in the comments below, and I will try my best to get to them in the next AMA video. First question, haven't you been able to see for 8 years, not 7? No, because when I say blind until 2016, my surgeries took place through all of 2016. So I didn't get to be able to have the final product until around Christmas 2016. After that, I had to begin the long and difficult journey of learning how to use the aftermarket parts, learning how to live as a person with sight, and completely figuring life out again as if I was reborn. And that was not a journey that I wanted, needed, or expected. I mean, nobody told me that it would be such a big deal. I mean, I know the blind community online, a lot of folks have talked about it, but I just didn't know to look for that information, right? There's so much information online. You know, I lost a lot of friends. If you've ever graduated high school, had a baby, gotten a disability, you know that people will leave when you have a big life change. It doesn't mean that they are bad people. It just means that people change, right? And some people aren't going to be with you at every stage of your life. The next question is, did your perception of beauty change after getting your surgery? The answer is no. I moved to Los Angeles from New Jersey right after getting my eye surgery. Most people think that Los Angeles is the most superficial city in the world. Whether that's true or not is not what I'm saying here, but there's a lot of good-looking people in LA. And just like before my eye surgery, I knew that the best looking and the most popular people aren't necessarily the nicest or the kindest people. So I don't really see that as something that I pay attention to. I've always paid attention to if a person is kind, if a person is just pleasant to be around, and if they're doing cool stuff. Like, I think if we judged everybody based on how they look, it would be a really sad state of affairs. So one thing that I've really, since getting my eyesight, become irritated with is the proliferation of negative messages to especially really young kids that is based off of social media. We have people in their teens and 20s that are now getting like crazy plastic surgeries that they don't need. This is why I don't use filters. And I know on some of these apps, they put a basic filter on you no matter what you do, but I always try to make sure that the filter is not on me. And I try to present myself as I am and not as somebody who's always, like, my hair's not always done like this. It just so happens that today I curled it, right? I don't always look like this, and you'll see videos where I don't always look like this. That's what I consider, I guess my contribution against that kind of thing. I really feel strongly against it. It just feels like now there's a huge message that whoever you are, whatever you look like, there is something wrong with you and you need to buy this product, you need to do this surgery, whatever it is. I don't like it. I don't like it. And that's something that I've noticed since getting my eyesight. It sucks. And I think daily on what can I do to kind of not support that. Next question, how has your anxiety changed after getting your eyesight? My anxiety's actually gotten better, but I don't think it had anything to do with my disability. It has everything to do with personal work that I've done, because I have always taken personal development as like a big deal. I always am working on myself. And I think that comes from having a disability and having to be very good at things or excluded from things, if that makes sense. I'm somebody who, if I'm interested in something, I will research everything. If I have a problem that I need to handle, I will research it, do the therapy, whatever I need to do. And I'll do that like it's my job. Some people joke that, oh my God, you're just so focused. And I'm like, I've always had to be, because I couldn't just walk in and easily join along on most things. Having friends has really helped. When I first moved to LA and when I first made a lot of my videos that you saw, I didn't really know anybody here. I had a ton of friends, but they were everywhere but this city. And now I have friends that I can actually go and do things with. They're supportive, they understand who I am. And that really helps, knowing that you're not alone. And I realized moving across the country like I did, that was a very risky and difficult thing. But again, I'm always going to do the difficult choice to prove to myself that I can do it, because if I don't do it now, when am I going to do it, right? Like, I thought maybe I wanted to try Los Angeles, and I figured it was a very difficult city. And I said, this is going to be hard. I'm going to do it, and I'm going to give it 5 years. And because I worked very hard daily, it's now a place I love. And I mean, I feel like some people live here for years and years and they leave this place hating it. I think a lot of it came from my perspective, the drive about who I am and what I want to do. When I first got my eyesight, I was really bad at finding friends, actually. I would assume that people were nicer than they were. And again, I think that's just my personal inexperience. That's not a disability thing. I know what to look for in traits of people, and I know what behaviors I will and I won't accept. Even though I was a sociology, psychology major in college, I didn't have a lot of ability to go out and socialize due to my personal situation, not completely the blind thing, but other things. I wasn't going out and socializing like you guys were in high school and college. So seeing the behavior is something that I saw for the first time after my surgery, but only because I was in a different living situation than I was prior. It's very hard to understand. Like, you can understand human behavior here, but if you don't understand it here, that comes from experience. I wasn't understanding it here. Now I'm a lot better at all of this. And as soon as I saw different types of behavior, I was able to understand it. It didn't always go smoothly for me when I saw it the first time, but now 7 years in, I feel pretty good. So anyway, that's all the questions for today. You can put questions in the comments below. I will go ahead and try to answer them in the next one. If you'd like to see more from me, until then, I have Instagram, TikTok, also on Facebook. I'm there still. So those links are all in the description box. Bye.